Hey, what's up, guys? You ready for some 10 minutes or less? We'll be ready, because today, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. The movie begins when Harry is delivered by Dumbledore, McGonagall, and Hagrid to the Dursleys' house. Now, about 11 years later is where the rest of the movie takes place, right before Harry's 11th birthday. Now, Harry, it's Dudley's birthday first. So he's doing all these presents. They go to the zoo. Harry accidentally releases a snake. Now it turns out that this snake, he can talk to snakes, but he doesn't understand why. Then they go back home. All these letters keep coming to send him to Hogwarts. Now Harry doesn't understand what Hogwarts is, but the Dursleys do. Now, then maybe a week or two later, after these letters keep coming, it's a Sunday, and then mail doesn't come on Sunday except for wizards. All these letters keep shooting inside the Dursleys' house. Now, next, they move to this island where Hagrid, the big giant guy, says one of the most famous lines in Harry Potter history. "You're a wizard, Harry." Now, after this, they go to Diagon Alley. Well, actually, first they go to the Leaky Cauldron, where Harry meets one of his teachers for the first time, Professor Quirrell. He's a stuttering man. But anyway, they end up going to Gringotts Bank. First, they go to a vault with a little package that Hagrid says is Hogwarts business. And then they go to Harry's vault, which is full with gold coins. Next, Harry gets his wand, which apparently matches the wand of the person who gave him his scar. And then Hagrid explains the whole story, that it was Voldemort, which they don't call Voldemort because he's such a terrible person. Next, flash forward to the train station. Here at the train station, Hagrid gives Harry a ticket to go to platform 9 3/4, which you get to by running straight between platforms 9 and 10. Now, he gets onto the train, and which is where he first meets him before the train, but he meets Ron Weasley and actually becomes friends with him on the train, where they get a buttload of candy. And then they go on, meet Hermione, who fixes Harry's glasses. Then they end up at Hogwarts, they get their bags taken, blah blah blah. Then the sorting hat comes. Ron's sorted into... Well, actually, before this, they meet Draco Malfoy, who's a disgusting kid. And the four houses, then McGonagall's back. They explains to him that there are 4 houses they could be sorted into: Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, and Slytherin. Now, Slytherin is the evil house. There's not a bad wizard that didn't come out of there. Now, Ron and Hermione get into Gryffindor, and no shock, Malfoy gets in Slytherin. Now, what does Harry do? He convinces the Sorting Hat to put him in Gryffindor because he does not want to go in Slytherin. He ends up in Gryffindor. They go to the common room. Blah blah blah. Stuff happens. The stairs change position and stuff. And they leave their dormitories into the common room where they meet Hermione. And one night, they accidentally stumble upon a room with a 3-headed dog. They run for their lives, escape, blah blah blah. All this stuff happens, and then a little bit later, Harry gets caught trying to save a toy from his buddy. Hold on, let me check the time. Oh my god, we're almost halfway through. I gotta skip some stuff. Okay, so Harry then becomes part of the Quidditch team, but then on Halloween, right before the first game, there's a troll that was let into the school. No one knows who let it in. And they're not smart enough to enter a school, apparently. So Harry defeats the troll, and they suspect Snape, with a bloody leg, trying to get past the dog. Now, Harry wins the Quidditch match. Forward, all this other stuff happens, and it ends up Harry after winning the Quidditch match, all this stuff happens, some unimportant stuff. They find out, well, Harry gets to stays at school for Christmas. He gets the invisibility cloak, and he goes to the library to look for Nicholas Flamel, who created the Sorcerer's Stone, which they find a lot later. And so he finds the Mirror of Erised. He sees his parents. Dumbledore says the mirror's leaving, and then onward to more adventure. Christmas is over. They talk about it a little more. Blah blah blah. And so they get to the dog, three-headed dog. They know they have to get past it by playing music. They go down, and they end up after they get past the dog, they end up tangled in this nasty plant that Hermione knows just relax and to get rid of with a light. So they free Ron, who could not relax, and they end up in a room with flying keys on a broom. With a broom that Harry has to catch one of. So then Harry and after Harry catches the key, oh my god, a few more minutes left, I think we're going to make it. Harry grabs the key, and afterwards, they go on, and it's a giant wizard's chest, which was mentioned earlier, but wasn't really important to the story until now. They have to play to the death. Not necessarily the death, it's a giant wizard's chessboard. So what happens next is Ron has to sacrifice himself for the winning of the game. Harry goes on, but in the book, Harry and Hermione go on, and there's a potion thing that Harry has to pick, and it's just this ridiculously crazy thing. And so what happens next is Harry ends up in a room where the Mirror of Erised is now. So what does Harry do? And who happens to be there? I mean, Quirrell. The whole time they thought it was Snape, but Snape was guarding, one of the teachers, guarding the stone. How else do you think the potions got there? Duh! Anyway, long story short, Harry looks into the Mirror of Erised, knowing he wants to have the Sorcerer's Stone, feeling it in his pocket. He then touches the stone, which gives him the ability to bring Quirrell to Ash, just completely murdering him. Crazy murderer at 11 years old. Anyway, Harry then kills Quirrell, who turns out to have Voldemort leeched on the back of his head. Hold on, Jake. Anyway, Voldemort then escapes. Harry ends up in the hospital. Harry and Hermione are friends, but unfortunately, sadly, Harry has to go home to the Dursleys. And that's Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone in 10 minutes or less. Thank you, goodbye, and don't forget to subscribe.